was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in the mid to late 90s when I was in between 5 to 7 years old. My parents were divorced, but they were trying to figure it out together. I wasn't hospitalized. I don't think I went into ketoacidosis. And a huge reason for that was my mom. The doctors didn't catch it at first. She had to take me back 4 separate times before I was finally diagnosed. She stayed calm through it all. There were so many things that if I could have articulated it back then, would have made my life better sooner. And if my parents had known then, it would have given them more peace of mind. So today, I want to share those things with you to give you peace of mind as a parent and to give your kids the tools that they'll need to manage this for the rest of their lives. Hi everyone, I'm 35 years old and I've been living with type 1 diabetes for pretty much the majority of my life. I've survived the aha moments and the total burnout. I've navigated awkward school years, rebellious teen years, and somehow have figured out how to be an adult with this thing as my constant sidekick. And if you're a parent watching this, my guess is you're overwhelmed. You feel like you're a part-time parent, a part-time nurse, and a part-time pancreas. The point of this video is to give you the insights that I, a kid who lived it, wish my own amazing parents had. These are the unspoken truths that live in silence between finger pricks and the insulin shots. So today, I'm sharing the 3 things I wish my parents knew about. Okay, so the first thing I wish my parents knew is that a blood sugar number isn't just data, it's actually tied to a physical feeling and often a whole lot of fear. I remember once as a kid, I was at Disneyland with my dad and his side of the family, all of my siblings, and every 5 minutes I was asking for water. I was just so thirsty. What was really happening was my blood sugar was just high, but I didn't have the words for that yet at that age. All I knew was this excruciating, painful dry mouth. I felt like I couldn't get enough water. I'm sure my family just thought I was being obnoxious. The last thing I wanted to do was make everyone stop, pull out the whole kit, do the fingerprint, and then wait for the number. It was a hassle. And honestly, I was scared. I was scared of the judgment, the disappointment sigh, the frustrated, what did you eat? So I said nothing for hours. I walked around the park with my blood sugar sky high, feeling miserable because I didn't want to be a burden or I didn't want to get in trouble. A high number isn't just a moral failure, it's often a physical crisis happening inside your child's body. What I needed in that moment wasn't a judge, but a detective. I needed to hear, you seem really thirsty. Let's check and see what's going on. It's okay, we'll figure this out together. When you react with calm curiosity, you teach your child that they are safe to be honest with you. You take the shame out of the number and turn it back into what it is. The second thing is that a child's body and its reaction will constantly change. The way my body responded to insulin when I was 10 was not the same as it was during puberty. And it's not the same now that I'm 35. A food that was once predictable might suddenly send their numbers on a roller coaster. It's not your fault and it's not their fault. It's just the nature of a growing body. This is where technology has been a game changer. When I was a kid, we had these chunky meters and finger pricks. It was such a hassle to pull out that bag. You're always afraid of leaving it somewhere. And sometimes that hassle alone would make me not want to check my blood sugar. Now you have continuous glucose monitors or CGMs that give you a constant stream of data. Thing number 2 is about the reality of a low blood sugar. When your blood sugar is low, you feel so exhausted that even chewing can feel like a monumental task. That's why the go-to glucose tablets don't always work for me. I now prefer a drinkable option. I stay with a nutritional drink with sugar and most importantly, protein. It took me until my teens to learn this, but protein is the key to sustaining your blood sugar after a low. The sugar brings you up fast, but the protein prevents you from crashing back down later. But here's the unspoken part. Lows are terrifying. While high blood sugars carry long-term risks, a severe low can cause a diabetic seizure. My first one happened to me when I was 16, and it changed my perspective forever. When your blood sugar is dropping fast, your body has no energy. And the most comfortable thing in the world is just to go to sleep. You don't realize that you're sleeping your way into a potential seizure. Even as an adult, I'll always prefer to run my blood sugar, let it run a little high, than risk a severe low. The danger in that is immediate. And number 3 is this: be my partner now and be the coach later, right? Your job is to coach them into independence, but you have to be their partner first. Looking back, I think my parents may have let me take control too early, especially in my teen years. I needed a Batman to my Robin, and I needed someone to hold me accountable with curiosity versus judgment. The instinct is to ask, did you check your blood sugar? But a teenager can just say yes without thinking. Where a partner says, hey, what's your blood sugar? Show me. A partner is the one who says, I have backup supplies, don't worry. So the partnership isn't about control, it's about being a team. It shows your child that you're in it with them. As they get older, you transition from partner to coach. You're not just raising a child with diabetes, you're raising an adult who will one day have to manage this entirely on their own. They need to be trained, not just trusted. Your goal is to slowly make yourself redundant by building their confidence. Looking back, I'm so thankful for my parents. They did the absolute best they could with the information that they had. So the point of sharing this isn't to make anyone feel guilty, it's to offer a roadmap, the emotional roadmap that often gets lost in the medical whirlwind. It's about remembering that a number is also a feeling, and that a child's identity is always bigger than their diagnosis. You would have no clue that I'm diabetic unless I told you. And I say that as a reminder that your child's gonna be okay. They're gonna have a full, beautiful, vibrant life. They are so resilient, and so are you. I would love to build a community here. For the parents watching, what has been your biggest unspoken struggle? And for my fellow people watching with type 1 diabetes, what's one thing you wish your parents knew back then? Share your stories in the comments. Your experience could be the one thing another family really needs to hear right now. Thanks for watching. See you next week.